Ooh, welcome back, Dota 2 fans. This is our fourth and final game of the day in the I-League Season 2 China Pro Qualifiers bracket. I am Morris Peace, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster, joined by Coucher. This is HeflaTV, your English coverage. Speed Gaming taking game one over Braveheart. Braveheart falling in 3 consecutive games today. First 2 to DK and now to Speed Gaming. Coucher, what are you expecting to see in this game 2 from either side?
Probably not too much different. I'd expect Speed Gaming to go for an aggressive style as well. They might once again try to start with a Jakiro just because Jakiro, he accomplished so much. He got even an ultra kill at one point, although he was in a support role. So it's, well, unfortunately not going to happen as Braveheart to ban it out here. But Speed Gaming still might start with the Ogre, for example.
Yeah, something definitely that we both, them, and we noticed in that game one. Jakiro looking very strong, definitely able to sit on that high ground as well. With the liquid fire spam and not risk too much. The TA, also a very good pick into Braveheart's lineup. They were pretty burst heavy. They had things like the Elder Titan and the Lich, not able to bust through those refraction charges. And Piao snowballing very well despite being given a dual lane to deal with early on mid. And we will see early Ogre pick up, as you mentioned, from Speed Gaming. They'll go right back to the bread and butter with that. But the Centaur going to be picked up here from Braveheart, so looking for a little more burst and a little bit more tank ability from them. Very similar to the Axe, who didn't quite pan out for them in game one. So we'll see if they're able to make good use of this Centaur in game two and what they will couple it with here. Perhaps they pick up the Skywrath. They actually pick up the AAs, so a little bit of global presence does help out with those Blink Hoof Stomp double edge ganks with that Ice Blast that can assist from both sides of the map.
Well, I mean, it's definitely a combination that might work out for Braveheart. So far, they've tried to go for like kind of different styles of play every single game almost, or at least somewhat different styles. So I guess one is bound to end up working in the end, right? So why the hell not Ancient Apparition Centaur? Definitely used to be an extremely strong and just popular combination at one point in time. But Speed Gaming, once again, the Ember Spirit, Flame Guard, of course, excellent against both the Ancient Apparition and the Centaur.
Yeah, very good hero, and the Chao Ye playing excellently in game one. As you mentioned, I don't think he missed a single Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains combo on any significant hero, so well played by him in that game one. They will go right back to that combination, and Centaur AA going to be a little bit hard pressed to burst down the Ember through that Flame Guard. He did have safe lane farm in game one, so it'll be interesting to see if he goes towards that mid lane in this game two. And doesn't seem like we will see mid laner from Braveheart just quite yet. We'll see the Skywrath ban from Speed Gaming. Their first 2 bans identical to last game, with the Void Bat Rider being removed. So I guess things they certainly just don't want to play with. And both heroes are very good against the Ember Spirit with the Chronosphere, as well as the Lasso. The Lasso can be dodged by a quick reaction from the Remnant, but both of them pretty good at locking him down. Ember Spirit, not the tankiest hero, so definitely something they have planned to draft here with those bans. And we'll see the Brewmaster removed here from Team Braveheart and the Viper from Speed Gaming.
With the Viper ban, I mean, I thought that they might want to go for the Temper Assassin anyway, but with the Viper, I think it's even more of a chance for them to go for it, because otherwise Viper is definitely good kind of counter to the Temper Assassin mid lane. Yeah. So are we going to see the TA once again?
We certainly may. I mean, once again, they are pretty burst heavy for Braveheart here. They do have some of the return damage, I guess. There is the Cold Feet, which can tick down the TA, but that, of course, hinges on the fact that you do have the AA in range for that. And generally, the AA is going to be assisting from distance, as he is fairly squishy and susceptible to the Ember Spirit's toolkit. So we could definitely see this TA once again, and the Viper ban could be indicative of that for sure. Viper also fairly good against Ember Spirit. Something people underestimate is that the remnants that you throw out are slowed by any slows affecting you at that time. So Viper Strike is pretty good against Ember Spirit as well, if he does not already have a preemptively placed defensive remnant down. So perhaps just to deal with the Ember there is that ban, but also could be allowing them to pick up a TA here. And we'll see a Zeus ban from Braveheart, so something you would have liked to see in game one, but they will see the ban there. And Slark going to be the pickup for Braveheart, which was banned out in game one by Speed, I believe. Either way, Slark will be very slippery up against both the Ogre and the Ember if he's able to get off that Dark Pact in a timely manner. So should have a pretty good time. Also, if he picks up a Blink, can add to the Centaur, Ancient Apparition, Aggression, and Gank Squad.
I mean, Braveheart, like I already talked about, they're going for something different almost every single time. With Slark, though, I mean, between the Hoof Stomp as well as the Pounce, a lot of ways to lock people down. I mean, Ember Spirit can still escape with the Remnant away from the Pounce at least. But it's still a lot more than they had in game number 1. And so maybe that's going to be just enough. Pounce should theoretically be enough setup for the Ice Blast. And whoa, Speed Gaming going for a Darkseer. That's a hero that I have missed so badly because that hero is freaking awesome. Also, if you're up against a melee safe lane farmer and Darkseer is off lane, those Ion Shells will make it so much harder for you to actually last it.
Yeah, definitely a hero that has fallen out of favor, and not with great reason. The Darkseer is a pretty good laner. Doesn't really add much in terms of farm capability, but if he's able to get up even a mech, a Shivas, anything along those lines, pipe, the Darkseer adds quite a bit, and in that fashion, he's quite like an Elder Titan. He offers so much just from his abilities that he can pretty much pick up any item that helps the team out, and as you mentioned, up against a Slark, if that is the case, he should do fairly well, and even against the Centaur, if they choose to put him in the safe lane. We'll probably see the Centaur in the off lane. And on Darkseer, not even bad in a 1v1 against a Centaur as well. And that Vacuum should be pretty darn good to help out with the Ember Spirit Sleight of Fist. So it will be interesting to see that combo. Darkseer Ember, not something I've seen all that often, albeit the Darkseer himself is pretty rare.
So for the last game, Speed Gaming did run the Ember Spirit in the safe lane. How big would you rate the chance for the Ember Spirit to once again be safe lane and, for example, a Magnus to be in the mid lane for them?
Yeah, Magnus would be really nice. I think they probably need a little bit more firepower though. So I mean, personally, I'd expect this Ember to go towards the mid. The Nyx is pretty good here from Braveheart to deal with the Ember, however, and they could put him in the mid. They are going to pick up a little bit more right click from Speed Gaming, as I mentioned. So they do need a little bit more firepower, and they're going to agree with me in that respect and pick up the Lycan. However, they could put this Lycan mid and put that Ember in the safe lane. I feel like it'll depend on where this Nyx Assassin goes. Spike Carapace gets a free proc off of Flame Guard, of course, so Nyx does decently well against the Ember Spirit in that respect, and Slark does pretty well against all the heroes thus far, except for the Darkseer, as you mentioned, from Speed Gaming. So I guess we'll see an Ember mid here, but they may look to dodge the Nyx Assassin, put him in the safe lane, and perhaps put that Lycan in the mid, as Centaur will probably be the one in the off lane for Braveheart.
Yeah, I mean, as hard as Slark might find it to farm against the Ion Shells, in a sense he's still pretty good against Darkseer, because if the Pounce lands, even the Surge might not get you away to safety. You can still try to like run circles around, like you can do with the Dream Coil as well, without breaking it or reaching the maximum distance with the Pounce. But the Pounce definitely a good thing, just against the same against the Batrider, for example, just make it so that he cannot actually Firefly into God knows where. But Braveheart, picking up a Storm Spirit now as well. So it's one of the heroes, the few heroes who can actually keep up with a Lycan, for example. But they need their lanes, their early game to work really well. Yeah,
Storm very good against Ember. He usually goes for that early Orchid, so that's very good against the Ember Spirit if he's not able to Remnant out before you get that off. Of course, you can cast that during Ball Lightning, so it's very good in that respect, but they will have a Nyx Assassin as their support duo, and as you mentioned, they're going to need their lanes to go well, as Slark and Storm Spirit are definitely the definitions of snowball heroes, and so you will need that to go well for them. They're going to need to get that ganking combo up with the Centaur. They're going to need to get a decent timing on the Blink, and going to be hard pressed to find that farm, and they will go for a very aggressive lineup as Speed Gaming did in game 1. Will be interesting to see how they fare, as the lineup for Speed Gaming is going to be rounded out with a Mirana, and we will have a pause as we jump into the game.
I mean, I would have really loved to see a Chikira on Speed Gaming. Unfortunately, Braveheart did ban it out. That would have been pretty much the combination with the Darkseer, Ice Path or Vacuum into Ice Path, whichever way you want to do it.
Right.
But at the moment, they really don't have anything to take like proper advantage of the Vacuum.
Yeah, there's nothing to combo it up with, really. A lot of single target there. There's the Mirana Arrow as well as the Fire Blast. They do have the Sleight of Fist, which does benefit from having more targets there, especially if you have the Cleave. But yeah, with the Lycan, not too much synergy with that Darkseer. I guess just looking to lane dominate for the time being. Anyways, we'll get into it and introduce the teams here, as there's a little bit of drawing on the map going on. For the side of Speed Gaming, going towards the safe lane, Chaoye playing up on that Lycan, so will not take the Ember Spirit up in this game too. And we will have Melody Lovers accompanying him once again on the Ogre Magi. YFTX, standout player from last game on the Jakiro, playing on the Mirana in that defensive try safe lane. We'll see Piao picking up the mid lane, Ember Spirit, and Iwi in the off lane on the Darkseer.
Man, it felt so sensual when you said the Ember Spirit. You must have some intimate feelings with him.
I do.
Towards him.
He's my favorite hero, by far.
But for Braveheart, Carrot will be playing the Slark for the safe lane with move on the Ancient Apparition, leaving 91 on the Nyx Assassin support. Mid lane taken up by Chinese letters on the Storm, and last one will be God 7 on the Centaur.
Yeah, can't wait till we have a rampage by Chinese letters. Chinese letters going ham in this one. Braveheart, very aggressive squad. We'll see if they're able to translate that into a snowbally mid game and into a win here. They do lack a little bit of push from their side. They're good at clearing waves, but terrible at taking down structures. Speed Gaming a lot better in that aspect with the Bloodlust as well as the Lycan. So we'll see if they're able to get the objectives off of the kills, as they will so dearly need. YFTX, Melody Lover's going to drop a sentry here towards the mid lane, look to choke out some of the vision from Braveheart, but there won't be a ward there quite yet. So.
Well, at the moment, just vision definitely is something that you want to have with a Braveheart, just to make sure that a random roaming Mirana won't get the arrows, but he's looking for something on the Storm Spirit already. On level 1 though, even with the arrow landing, would they even be just able to get the kill with just the two of them?
I doubt it. Even with an arrow and the searing chains, not sure, but they would probably come close if it was a 5-second arrow. He's going to opt for that first level in Static Remnant. And it's pretty good against melee heroes, but with the Flame Guard, Ember Spirit, one of the better heroes to deal with that. So I doubt we'll see him max out that Static Remnant from the Storm Spirit. Looks like we're still having some connection issues. Perfect world, please. And hopefully we can get these rectified for this final game of the day in the I League, guys. This is HeflaTV. Thank you so much for joining us for the first three. If you're just coming in, this is Braveheart's fourth game of the day. They dropped their first series 2-0 to DK. And I don't know if we're going to have a remake here. Quite a few disconnects from the side of Braveheart. But unfortunately, I don't understand Chinese letters, as you guys have been privy to with the name of the Storm Spirit here. But going to see some reconnects, so hopefully just Braveheart refreshing the server for their side.
Yeah, hopefully so. I mean, it does look like it's not permanent damage or anything, just because, like I said, some people are reconnecting once again already. Definitely a bit faster than I maybe expected it to. Maybe their internet just flashed out for a second. I mean, pretty much, I think all the Chinese teams are playing at some kind of LAN environment. Not all of them might have gaming houses, but they still have like a specified location, like a net cafe to play in. So a lot of them, I mean, even just the so-called lower teams like Braveheart, I mean, not as known or something, but they have a logo. They probably have an organization behind them as well. So it's good to see that in China, just things are being taken rather seriously.
Yeah, certainly so. Hopefully Braveheart will be able to redeem themselves for their fans' sake, or for their own sake here in this fourth game of the day. Otherwise, we'll go 0-4 in this China Qualifiers Pro Bracket for I-League Season 2, and that doesn't bode well for them going forward. By the way, Speed Gaming looking very sharp in Gaming 1, bringing them down in around 27 minutes. We'll have Carrot reconnect here, so hopefully the final two members of Braveheart will be able to rejoin us for this game, which should prove to be a pretty exciting one with the squads of both teams.
Well, looks like only two people are left to reconnect here into this game. But looking at it, or taking rather a closer look on the lanes, who do you think would even come out like in just purely the laning phase? When you like want to compare offlaners, for example, who's going to do better, the Centaur or the Darkseer?
Well, taking a look at the kill potential, I feel like bot lane has a pretty big kill potential with if they're able to hit a pounce and an impale. But other than that, like, they've skilled up the Chilling Touch level 1, so I really don't feel like they're going to bring down this Darkseer through a surge. If he gets to level 2, he should do fairly well. They do have the stun in the top lane But God 7 pretty tanky, and Lycan doesn't offer much, so I don't know that there's much kill potential in either lanes unless an arrow lands. I definitely would expect it, if it happened in tri-lane, to happen for Speed Gaming on the Centaur with the Fire Blast into arrow, as opposed to this Darkseer who's pretty elusive with that surge. But as I mentioned, if they get off a Pounce Impale, just a few Chilling Touch right clicks and Darkseer should be going down in this bot lane despite having the Stout Shield.
Yeah, probably so, but well, looks like the Mirana, he's heading towards, or back towards the top lane, I guess. Did fail the first arrow of his game. But how aggressive do you think this Mirana is going to be all in all? I mean, is he going to be roaming around like non-stop, trying to set up kills whenever he has the mana for it? Does have 2 clarity, so...
I think that's the reasonable thing to do here. If they are able to shut down this Storm Spirit and they secure their Ember some farm, that really puts a knife or a fork into the lineup of Braveheart. So I feel like a lot of their potential rests on the back of the Storm Spirit, as the Centaur shouldn't find too much farm in this offlane, being zoned out by the Ogre, and the Lycan gonna look to free farm there. So I don't mind the decision for them to roam the Mirana, but I would hope that she does get something done, or she is really gonna continue to starve throughout this early game.
Yeah, and him just being not on the top lane is going to hurt them quite a lot, in the sense that God 7 will get quite a lot done. Just because Ogre, Magi, and Lycan, they're not all that scary with the 2 of them. Both of them being melee heroes, and Centaur has the Stout Shield, may want to put the point into return as well. Never mind. Picks up a double edge. That's probably one of the most uncommon first just level skills.
He is holding on to a skill point at level 2, so perhaps we'll look to level 1 if he has kill potential or is taking a lot of harass. Arrow out in the mid lane towards the Storm Spirit. They're not going to grab him here. He's going to juke forward. Iwi rotating in though. With the Ion Shell, they should be able to bring down this Storm Spirit. Actually running the wrong way is Piao, but Surge up in 1 second. We'll be able to search for the Ember Spirit. There's the Searing Chains. He'll bring down the Storm Spirit for first blood. And as I mentioned, committing a lot to this. They have sacked the offlane for the Darkseer, so he has rotated into the jungle, but certainly worth bringing down this Storm Spirit. They're really going to need to keep him down in order to control the tempo of this game, because he'll be very effective at doing that if he gets some farm.
Oh yeah, definitely. So really nice done by the Darkseer coming in to help. Got the Surge at the last second as well there. Although I think Piao could have gone a little bit more aggressive earlier on as well. Not too sure what he was expecting out of the Storm Spirit. Maybe like an Electric Vortex to come out, something like that. But YTFX, he's still on the hunt for something. This time around he has the leap as well. So if the arrow does manage to land, he can actually leap forward and provide just some additional damage with the right clicks. But Piao, he's gonna go for the Searing Chains. Never mind, the arrow will completely fail. They might still get the kill though with the Flame Guard. Flame Guard does now expire, but the Searing Chains do come out. A few more right clicks, and Piao, he's the one to grab it as well.
Yeah, so YFTX getting some stuff done in the early game despite missing that arrow. He's almost level 3 on this Mirana, and it certainly warrants the roaming once you're successful at doing so. Iwi finding some levels in the jungle will now rotate back to the bot lane, as he does have that Surge at the ready. And Nyx on 9-1 has rotated out of the lane, smoke towards the mid, looking to defensively posture up behind his Storm Spirit, who's been aggressed upon so many times here in the mid lane.
Well, definitely great start for Speed Gaming. Lycan also 25 and 12 compared to a Slark's 18 and 9. I guess the Iron Shell has been still somewhat annoying for the Slark to deal with. So far though, is he going for a Hand of Midas, pulling up 1.3k gold so far?
Yeah, he might. I mean, Midas is pretty good on Slark, but in this game, I feel like because their storm has been shut down somewhat, as I say that in the mid lane, there's going to be a Vortex here. Arrow is going to fly out. It's going to hit on 9-1, and the Storm Spirit getting very low as well. A couple more right clicks, one from the Rana. He's actually going to bring down the Ember Spirit with that Static Remnant, but Ember will get the kill first, so it looks like the fight recap shows that the Ember did find the experience and the Storm did not. And so still a win for Speed Gaming here. They also rotate in God 7. So he will find a little bit of farm mid, but did lose a little bit of time in that top lane. And Iwi now picked up that level 3 for the Darkseer.
Oh, and God 7 might be in trouble. Melody still does get the Fire Blast. Searing Chains will follow probably. Arrow not used yet and will be a rather short range one, but still gonna be plenty of damage. Or will it? Yes, with the Flame Guard, Piao gets another kill. 4 and 1 on the Ember Spirit. My god, I mean, not the crazy amount of last hits, like he's doubling up. And Lycan also went for Hand of Midas.
Yeah, I was going to mention before, I do like Midas on Slark, but in this game I feel like a lot is going to rest on his initiation as the Storm's been shut down and the Centaur is in the off lane, so I would like to see Treads blink. He does opt for the Treads. We'll see if he goes for that blink next. Iwi in the bot lane, though, with this Surge available, is feeling very strong here. He's going to get caught with the Pounce, however. Dark Spear goes down in the bot lane. Vortex back. He's going to burn down to the Flame Guard is the Storm Spirit. Tower's going to clean up the Ember, though. 9-1 will find the experience for that, but still, Storm Spirit dying for the third time already, or fourth time already, I should say. In this one is 1-4-1, not even level 6 with that ball lightning yet, and they got to kill him off as much as they can before he grabs that ultimate.
I guess Ember Spirit's still not getting that much done, and really nice that Carrot together with Ninja Depression found the kill on the Darkseer as well, bottom lane. So they're still getting something accomplished for themselves, although Darkseer, well, another Pounce is there. He's stayed around for way too long. The Surge is there. He actually might escape, bottling up as well. Another Pounce needs to land, but Carrot, Pounce is only level 1, has maxed out Darkpack so far, so they can't find the kill. Slark also did not go for the Midas, just trades into possibly the drums now. So not going for any greed. I guess they really need to be aggressive in this game, like you kind of pointed out as well, especially with the Storm Spirit being shut down.
Arrow flying out, and it's gonna land on 9-1. Surge forward, the Ion Shell is there as well. Storm Spirit is here, but the Fire Blast, they're gonna bring down the Nyx Assassin. Storm gonna have to rotate out, still doesn't have that level 6. And a nice kill going the way of Iwi there. He's playing very aggressive in this bot lane, but Carrot's found Shadow Dance now, and we'll be able to regen up and continue to free farm. 36 last hits on the Slark, but as you mentioned, Lycan pulling ahead, and with that Midas, we'll continue to widen that farm gap.
Just things are going so well, and not only that, now Speed Gaming, oh, just Observer Ward mid lane, it was just on the edge of the sentry, so that was 2 for 1. They got the Radiant Sentry and the Observer Ward both down for Speed Gaming. So lots of vision denied for Braveheart. It's gonna make it even harder for the Storm Spirit to just normally be on lane, just because he's not level 6 yet. Doesn't have a stack to farm out at this point in time in the jungle either. So Nyx Assassin, he's trying to soak up some XP mid lane instead. They're gonna see Mirana, I think.
Mirana did scout out the AA. I'm not sure if the AA returned the favor in that sense. It's because they did have this ward here, so I think that got a quick glimpse just in this box.
Oh no. AA. Another fresh Observer Ward was also in the sentry range. My freaking god. Just Braveheart, they cannot catch a break.
Yeah, very rough day for them. Storm Spirit is now trying to jungle. Pops a Static Remnant on Mud Golems.
Top lane, Centaur might be in trouble. No, just Stampede for him. The Impale misses Lycan as well. So Lycan, a few more right clicks. Body blocking not enough. One more. He's going to bring down the Centaur. Normally a tanky hero, but when you're only level 4, just you don't have enough.
Yeah, and 650 MS, pretty darn good. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, they will bring down the, or AA will fall to the Darkseer, actually. Solo in the bot lane. He looks like he committed Wall of Replica there.
I think that it was actually the illusion from the Wall of Replica with an Ion Shell chasing the Aegis Depression down.
So well played there from Iwi. On this Darkseer, as you mentioned, been pretty standout thus far. 2-1-1 on the DS mid lane. They're going to try to go in on this Storm once again. He still doesn't have Ball Lightning. He's going to get hit with the Searing Chains. He's going to tick down to this Flame Guard fairly soon. Trying to bottle up here. One last Static Remnant. Pounce forward, though, onto FTX, and he'll go down. Remnant away, however, from the Ember Spirit. They're looking to chase down the Darkseer here. There will be an Ice Vortex there. The Pounce is not quite ready yet. Remnant forward from Piao. He'll get the Searing Chains off. Dark Pact will dispel it, but not in time. Surge forward with the Ion Shell. Remnant is there as well. One last right click. Move gonna fall 2. That's a 2-0 in the mid lane for Speed Gaming. And looking very good right after they bring down the Storm. So really a 3-0 in about 30 seconds going their way. And everything going the way of Speed Gaming. Take a look at the metrics. 9 minutes in. 5k gold lead already. 4k experience lead for Speed.
My god, things are spiraling completely out of control. They're just getting kills left, right, and center. And another arrow lands on the Storm Spirit. My god, he's still not level 6. He's so close to it as well. It hurts even more just because of that fact. The tower, YTFX was tanking it up just so that the courier would not die there. Nicely done as well. So Mirana taking one for the team, kind of didn't want to lose the courier. Although now, oh, Nyx Assassin, he came into the sentry ward, had the Impale, does not go down though, and well, I guess Piao makes it out as well.
Yeah, they really have no initiation without this Ball Lightning, and they're not able to punish Piao at all there, who's retreating.
Bottom lane though, Darkseer might go down. The cold feet procced, and there was the impale to follow up as well. So in the wall, not enough, although move drops pretty low with running through it. Oh god, so they get one nice kill, but all in all, things are just going horribly bad for them. The Ogre Magi has more net worth than the Storm Spirit, also more levels for that matter at this point.
Yeah, pretty sad for Braveheart here. They're not going to round out this day very well, and only Brown Boots bottle up on the Storm Spirit, as you mentioned. Lycan already sitting on treads minus Bassi, and probably has the makings of his Vlads coming over. He certainly does. That's only sensible, so can go for a Roche here, or even look to fight. Shapeshift is available for him as well. 3 in the mid lane, YFTX, Melody Lovers, and Piao looking to go put some harass into this tier 1. And Glyph is available for Braveheart. They do have TPs on pretty much their entire lineup aside from God 7, so they can look to defend this. Arrow gonna fly out there. There's a Searing Chains, Sleight of Fist, but it just barely skates by as the Ball Lightning is there. And if they land that arrow, they probably kill off the Storm Spirit once again.
Man, even with the Ball Lightning, he almost went in the same trajectory and still got hit there. That would have been so devastating, but Nyx Assassin is around with that Vendetta. Another arrow will just be a scouting. Doesn't land though. Bottom lane though, Darkseer being extremely annoying against the Slark with those ion shells. And looks like they're rotating. They're gonna find the double damage as well. And with this double damage, it should be Roshan.
Yeah, with the Vlads, the double damage, the level 4 Wolves up for Chaoye. Long range arrow gonna hit as well. Easy shot for the Mirana. YFTX playing very well in the Jakiro in game lane. Also doing quite a bit of work. 0-1 and 6 assists on this Mirana. Been involved in half of his team's kills in this one, and they will bring down Roche fairly quickly. Aegis might go to the way of the Ember Spirit here. I feel like he can get a lot more done with a second life, but they will give it over to Chaoye, and Ice Blast will be there a little bit late. Does tickle Piao on the way out, and Stampede used from God 7. Not sure exactly why. Probably just to extricate himself from that top lane. TPs were in from Piao, and maybe they will look to aggress onto this tier 1 in the bottom lane. They will find out Carrot with a Fire Blast. Ignite is there as well, and he will be able to Dark Pack that off and run back with the Shadow Dance passive. But they're just going to look to take this tier 1 here perhaps, as Piao does rotate and find a Bounty Rune here in the jungle. Not going to rotate into the jungle, actually goes back up towards defending mid lane. Storm Spirit has found a little bit of space here, but still doesn't even have treads to show for it.
And so now with this tower going down, that's Mech finished on the Darkseer. They have triple arcane boots as well on their team, so they have plenty of sustain. They can keep on casting the spells, and oh, the Dark Pack, Fire Blast will immediately purge off, but the arrow, oh god, such a close dodge. Nice Ice Blast, lands into 2 in return. Darkseer definitely plenty tanky enough for this, but they really want to keep on going. I mean, with the Aegis, why the hell not just get lots of global gold, get even farther ahead. Nyx Assassin in the meantime will TP out from Piao, but that means that there's no Nyx Assassin to be afraid of in the fight.
Yeah, an arrow's gonna land onto Carrot here after the Dark Pack. They'll bring him down and even throw up the wall just to finish off this tower here. And Iwi gonna find the kill with the Ion Shell on the Wolf there, or actually on the Creep at the end of that one. And it looks like they will continue to go here. Speed Gaming headlong towards the high ground. Arrow is gonna fly out, not gonna land, but they did exhibit some haste in game 1 as well, finishing it off in 27 minutes. But we'll look to just retreat and farm for the time being. 2,400 gold up on this Ember Spirit, 2,400 as well available on Chaoye's Lycan. So things going very well. Midas also available pretty soon, and they're even gonna add insult to injury and take a stack away from Braveheart.
It's just sickening how far ahead they are at this point. It's closing in on the 1k per minute, at least in network lead. Just because they're getting so much global gold, they're getting the kills, and they might find Slark again. He activates the Dark Pack, but if he gets stunned after this, he's going to be so screwed. There's the stun, but Ice Blast is flying, will land on the 3 Melody Lovers, will be the first casualty. But Lycan has popped his ultimate, gonna go for the backlines. Nice impale, catches 2 by the Nyx. So far it's a 2-for-1 trade. They're gonna get 9-1, maybe. The Spike Carapace keeps him alive for a little while longer than Lycan. Doesn't have enough to pounce as well. He gets the last right click anyway. With the help of the Wolves, God 7 will be next. Maybe the Mech is there. They are still alive. Arrow will not land into the Storm Spirit. So in the end, it's still a 3-for-2, but maybe they're gonna lose the Aegis. Or maybe not, who knows. But even so, Braveheart, I think they're rather happy about how this went, considering how far behind they are.
Yeah, they certainly find a couple of kills there. Unfortunate that it was a very nicely timed mech from Iowa, keeping up the Lycan. Ice Blast is going to fly out here and going to kill Chaoye, but only an Aegis. Still well shot by the Ancient Apparition there. Move finding a little bit of an annoying kill, but they're going to lose their Ancients as well. And perhaps they block this camp here. Courier coming over to Chauya with Necro 2s, so they'll be able to accelerate the push already. 15 minutes into the game. He's got 10,000 net worth on this Lycan. 684 GPM.
And Ember Spirit also only a Claymore away from finishing his first Battle Fury, or maybe the only Battle Fury, who knows. Who knows if he's even gonna just the game, if it's gonna last long enough for him to finish his second item after that. Especially with Lycan having his Necro level 3 and only 400 gold, so that's pretty much this tier 2 going down and he's gonna have it. That's an extremely fast Necro level 3, especially considering that he also has a Midas. Usually you would think like Threads, Vladimir's and Necro 3 20 minutes in is really good. If you have a Hand of Midas and Necro level 3 like 70 minutes in, it is just crazy. And Carrot, he's almost dead, but gets the Shadow Lance off, nice impact once again. And they're gonna get the Lycan down, Ice Blast to fly as well, the mech comes out just before though. So it's a 1-for-1, but a huge 1-for-1, but Storm Spirit unfortunately not as lucky. With the Necro Books, Mana Drain will be enough. And they will in the end get the tier 2 anyway. Still nice kill on the Lycan, but he got his Necro level 3 finished before.
Yeah, certainly. They'll find an objective once again. Piao looking very strong in these engagements. Arrow is going to fly from the Mirana. Not going to find anyone. Just going to scout things out. And they will lose the Storm Spirit once again. Taking a look at the hero levels here. And the Storm Spirit is level 9, as is the Ogre Magi from the other team. All 3 cores are ahead of the Storm, unfortunately. Gods has found his level 9 as well. Carrot will farm up some Necro units here and take a little bit of damage from that, but does get a nice little gold bounty for him. Stark, the only one who's kept up in levels, despite not opting for that Midas, is sitting on the top of the experience chart, but followed closely by Chauye, Piao, and Iwi.
So, at the moment, Braveheart, it's certainly looking like it's going to be a 0-4 day for them. I mean, for the future though, what do you think they should improve on? I personally think that it just might be the fact that kind of try to stick to one type of strategy, one type of lineup, and practice that first before you're like, whoa, never mind, Piao, he's going to go down to 91, so nice solo pick up there from the Nyx Assassin. But I definitely think like first just try to kind of pin down like one certain style, master that, and then just go look for the other one.
Yeah, I felt like in some other games they were looking for a very pick-off oriented style, and we did see DK very disciplined in keeping at least 2 heroes together at all times in a couple of their games, so they were able to survive up against that. Then in the game 1 here, they went away from that pick-off style. They tried to return to it in game 4, as you mentioned, so a little bit inconsistent with their mentality, I guess. And they were unsuccessful in this one, but early game looking very poor. I think one thing to note against both games in speed gaming, early game was fine against DK, but I guess mid game is where they pulled away there. So a little bit 2 different stories in both series, but yeah, unfortunately for Braveheart, they certainly do have quite a bit of room for improvement. Carrot maybe caught out mid lane with this Moonlight Shadow. Dark Pact is used to farm up the wave. 2 times multicast. Arrow is there as well. The 2 supports are going to clean up the highest priority net worth target on Beehard, and that's just salt in the wound for them at this point.
I mean, if you look at the kill score, it's like 9 kill difference. Sometimes it doesn't mean that much, but in this game it means a hell of a lot. At least the graphs haven't gone any steeper ever since the Lycan died, so still a 12k net worth lead though. XP about 5k as well, but all the outer towers down already. Nyx Assassin probably won't have enough to get the solo kill onto the Darkseer. Maybe with the Ice Blast, but even then would probably not enough, at least not with a level 1 Vendetta. And he's going to TP out or try to TP out. Piao does not see him, at least not in time.
Yeah, Piao 50 gold away from finishing that Claymore and therefore the Battle Fury, so he's just farming up the jungle here. 19 minutes in, Phase Drums Battle Fury, pretty darn good for this Ember Spirit. Sitting at 8.8k net worth, just under the Lycan, who is now at 13k, looking very scary with his Necro 3s, as well as the Ogre Axe up and 1600 gold, so only a recipe away from a BKB, and at that point he'll pretty much be unstoppable.
Yeah, and Darkseer has picked up a Hood of Defiance as well, so working towards the pipe, and once they have the pipe and mech both, even the Ice Blast is not going to be a huge threat to them really. Although at this point, Darkseer with the Invis Rune, it feels like Move knows that something's going on. I mean, he has the gem. He's trying to deward the hill at the moment. Or, well, never mind, I got massive screenshots at one point. Or slideshows. I was like, what? Isn't it destroying the ward? Then I see the ward dropping a little bit in health. I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah, he did drop one for his team as well. So they do have a little bit of cliff vision there, but They are pretty choked out here. Take a look at the Radiant Vision. Yeah, they really only see their side of the map. Do have this one defensive cliff ward and the one near the secret shop, but that's pretty much it. Take a look at the Dire Vision. They have a little bit of deep jungle vision, but other than that, both teams fairly blind at this point. Pickoffs, though, not too much potential for Braveheart. There will be a pounce, and the Ice Blast also hit onto EY, but he's going to just TP out. Long duration arrow is going to land on Carrot. No follow-up, however. Melody Lover's a little bit too far back. The entire lineup of Braveheart is there, so good on them for not aggressing towards that arrow and just taking it as it is. Piao going to try and scout out the pit. Going to be another minute till Roshan spawns. So.
Man, the server at some point I guess lagged out so much for me that I don't even see the timer on top of Roshan. Thank God I have you here though. So 1 minute away. And by that time Lycan is gonna have his BKB finished as well. Or at least he should have plenty of time to farm up to 300 gold. Unless Piao steals all of it from him, which might be the case at this point. Just competing for jungle farm. But with the BKB, with another Aegis for them as well, I mean, I guess Lycan when he gets the BKB finished, you might as well give the Aegis to Ember Spirit instead.
Right. Yeah, Ember Spirit definitely deals well with 2 full mana pools. Is very survivable as long as he at least saves one of his spirits for the second life. Does have 1200 gold in addition to that Battle Fury as well. BKB now being ferried over for Chao. Yeah, so he's very survivable. They actually went for a 5-man smoke rotation from Braveheart. Scouting Arrow did land on the Storm Spirit from YFTX, so if he was able to watch that, he would have known that they were under the cover of at least an invisibility rune, and everyone backing off towards their jungle from Speed Gaming. So no fruit bared for that smoke gank. However, there is a blink for God 7 now, as well as the casual Vit booster, so perhaps this Centaur can look to make things done with the blink of Carrot as well. He'll jump in mid lane, look to clean up these wolves, but they'll just back off into the cover of their invisibility and passive regen, and they will expire regardless. In the Roche pit now, melting down Roche is the side of Speed Gaming. They should be able to do this with relative ease as Piao pushes out the bot lane to offer a distraction and also take away any avenue towards the Roche pit.
I really do like the fact that Lycan isn't popping his Necrobook for this, and the 08 double damage points as well for them. Gonna be bottled up by Darks here. I guess not the best hero to carry the double damage, considering that they also have a Lycan and Ember Spirit. But Ember Spirit gets the Sleight of Fist searing change onto 2 God 7, already almost down to half HP. But they still have the Necrobook now for the actual push, and it should be plenty for them to take high ground at this point, I think.
Yeah, I think it should be fairly easy. They also have the BKB and 2 lives up on the Lycan, 1300 gold in addition to that as well. It's a 10-second BKB, so I really don't think they're worried too much about this Storm Spirit. The Sleight of Fist will go out to clear some things. Ice Blast, Impale is going to land on 2, very nicely chained up. They're going to be able to burst down Chao. Yeah, that's just the Aegis, but a good synergy of abilities. They'll actually lose God 7 for it. He has no buyback at this point, so they can just regroup and look to go high ground. They pop the Moonlight Shadow here, defensive Remnant, drop by Piao. They will just put Chao on the high ground. He's going to pop the Howl with his Necro units here. Glyph will be baited out. Arrow is going to fly, not going to hit on anyone from YFTX, but they will bring down this tier 3 with relative ease. And meanwhile, Carrot in the mid lane trying to clean up a wave on the Slark. Impale's going to be just short from 9-1. Sleight of Fist is there to harass him down. They'll melt these racks. No contest whatsoever from Braveheart. And the arrow is going to hit onto the Storm Spirit here. Doesn't have quite enough follow-up, however. He'll have to ball lightning back, but meanwhile, tier 3 in the mid lane is vulnerable and dead to these Necro units, who are still up for a couple seconds, so they will be able to bring down the melee racks as well. Ice Blast is going to go out. BKB is going to be popped here. They'll jump in on Piao. They will be able to... No, he will get multicasted on the Storm Spirit, and he'll Remnant out. BKB is popped. Instant buyback from Carrot. Chop down is the Ancient Apparition. Triple kill for Chao Ye already. They'll have a melee racks in the mid lane as well. Put a little bit of harass into this ranged, and back off content with their spoils. Full lane of racks goes uncontested. Tier 3 and a melee in the mid lane. 23-10 is your score. 14 minutes, or 24 minutes in, I should say, for Speed Gaming.
And it was a brilliant move stomp by Centaur. Unfortunately, they're just a little bit too far behind. Lycan popping the BKB, didn't really care about it at all. Was a nice Ice Blast follow-up as well. So nice combination from Braveheart. They did pretty much everything that could be asked of them, considering the situation they're in. But the timings for the racks to fall are so identical to game number 1. It's a little bit spooky even. So this might be yet another like 27-minute GG. All it needs is Speed King to just group up. They have the pipe for this next push as well now. Or I guess they had it delivered out in the middle of the last push or something. But having the pipe, just one more push. There's no just real reason for them to delay it out, I think.
Yeah, definitely. So I feel.
Oh god, there's a hard finish on Lycan.
Yeah, he is farmed as hell, sitting on the top of the net worth chart, of course, 18k net worth. Jump forward, though. Impale Pounce is there. They're going to bring down Piao quickly with the Ice Blast coming in for Melody Lovers. He'll be the next to fall as well. Pipe actually going to be popped. Just going to delay the inevitable. Vacuum onto Ion Shell is doing work here. YFTX may be thinking of rotating in, but just going to pop the Moonlight Shadow and not do so. Lycan rotates in from the backlines, though. He's got his BKB up. Carrot is going to be able to rotate out. God7 probably not going to be so lucky, but they do both blink into the trees. Arrow is there to hit God7. Negative earn charge will be able to tick him down as well, perhaps. And leap forward from YFTX will finish him off. Carrot trying to man up against Chow. Yeah, Necro units are here as well. Zip forward from the Storm Field. They'll pull back the Lycan. This is a big priority kill if they can get him, but just the army of units up against the Storm Spirit. Arrow's going to fly as well. It's going to land. YFTX playing out of his mind on this Mirana. They'll bring down the Storm once again. 42 seconds down. Does have buyback available, as does the Centaur. Ice Blast going to fly out top lane. Is going to connect on two, but not the Shatter, just on the way through. Jump forward, pounce by Carrot. He's just going to turn and man up with the Vlad. Slark going to be brought down. Spike Kerberos is going to be popped. Dodged nicely by Chow. Yeah, Bloodlust is there as well. Ice Vortex not going to slow them enough. And the Impale will be there. The Cold Feet should proc as well. Chow, yes, should drop here. One more right click from Move, but he's going to pay with his life as well. Full lineup from Braveheart is down here. Piao gonna look to push into this top lane. GG is called. Braveheart go 0-4 today in the I-League China Pro Qualifier bracket.
Definitely unfortunate for them, but Speed Gaming, well, they just dominated both games. There was no way to just deny this. Really well played by Speed Gaming. Rather impressed by their performance as well, especially seeing that DK, I guess they have just a slightly different playstyle than Speed Gaming, of course. A little bit more methodical and slow maybe in that case, but Speed Gaming looking really good. Just, I am waiting forward to see the next days when they're actually playing up against DK or Newbie or something like that.
Yeah, they definitely certainly look promising, and probably one of the lower skilled teams in Braveheart that they did face, but their execution was mostly flawless in these games, and two sub 30-minute victories, 27 minutes in game 1, 26.5 in game 2, looking very good. So definitely looking forward to them as well. We will have some more I-League coverage, guys, tomorrow. Same time, same place, HeflaTV 1, 12 CET, Newbie versus DK, IMG versus LGD. Two very good games for us there, so be ready for those. And thank you for joining us today, guys. I am MRP. More please, you're a resident Canadian Dota caster. You can find me on Twitter at MRP_Dota. Joining me is Coucher. You can find him at Coucher, COUCHOR. English is hard. And you can follow us over on HeflaTV on Twitter, Facebook, and Reddit. Of course, see the VODs over on youtube.com/HeflaMoke. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll be back with more Dota coverage very soon.